Hey everyone, today we're going to give you 15 tips on how to save money on your next cruise. Right after this. Hi everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome back to our channel. If it is your first time here, thanks so much for coming to check us out. We really appreciate it. We're just a small travel agency trying to give you some amazing tips on how to plan and go on your next great cruise vacation. So let's talk about these 15 tips to try to save some money on your next cruise. Number one is a little simple and common sense, but it's an old reliable one. Be flexible on the dates that you can cruise. Remember, cruises are more expensive when kids are not in school. Cruise lines know that when kids are out of school, there's a much higher demand for cruising. So then the price goes up because the supply goes down. So you want to be really cognizant when you're looking for cruises, especially if you're not bringing your kids, or maybe you want to take your kids out of school, or you don't want to cruise with kids anyway. But if you want to save some money, cruise when kids are in class. It's going to save you a very, very nice amount of money. Number two, another common sense one, book as far out as humanly possible. A lot of people think that you get good deals really soon on cruises, like last minute cruise deals. I hear this all the time, and the fact is it's just not true, especially nowadays with supply and demand being so high for demand and the supply being so low. Perfect example is we're in the Northeast region in the Philadelphia area. There are only a few amount of ships that leave out of New York, New Jersey, Baltimore, Boston, right? So those four ports. There's about a quarter of the amount of ships that leave out of there as there is just in Port Canaveral or Miami or Fort Lauderdale. So of all those ships, all those ports combined. So what happens is those ships sell out very quickly and the price goes way up. I can't tell you how many calls I get for cruises in August, in June, or July. And the fact is we could probably find you something, but one, it's going to be out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale or Port Canaveral. And two, it's going to be more expensive. If you, for instance, wanted to leave on Oasis of the Seas, it's July right now in 2023. So if you wanted to leave in August or September on Oasis out of Bayonne, it is going to be like $6,000 or $7,000 for a balcony cabin. Whereas if you booked that 2 years in advance or even a year in advance, it would have been $1,800. So book as far out as you can humanly possibly do. Number three, everyone knows most cruises leave on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you can leave during the week, if you could find a cruise that leaves during the week, those are going to be significantly cheaper because less people can go on those cruises. Remember, there's a sweet spot for cruises. Really long cruises are going to be a little cheaper because the demand is lower, right? It's more retired people or people that just travel a ton. So if you go on a 2-week cruise, it might be the same amount of money as a 1-week cruise when school's out or during the summer. So think of those things when you're thinking of your times to cruise. Next up, let's talk a little bit about once you get on the ship. So number one, drink packages. It's a thing I talk about probably more than anything else with clients. So how do you know if a drink package is right for you? First of all, is it included? MSC includes drinks in some of their packages. Norwegian has free at sea where it's not expensive to get the drink package. So with those, great. You want to have a couple drinks every day. It probably pays. You're basically paying for tips. It's going to be $200, $300, something like that. It's probably worth it. On Royal Caribbean or some of the other cruise lines, Carnival, where it's $700, $800, $900 for a drink package for a 7-day cruise, you have to drink about 7 drinks a day to break even. Somewhere between 6 and 10 drinks a day. So are you going to drink 7 drinks a day? You might say, yes, I'm on vacation, but drink 10 drinks in a day and come back and talk to me tomorrow. Let me know how you feel. You're not going to feel great and you can't do that 7 days straight. So really take a look at it. Now, there is something to be said. This is all about saving money, but there's something to be said for convenience. Sometimes I will get the drink package because I don't want to think about it. I don't want to get $40 or $50 charged a day where I'm trying to figure out how much I'm spending. I would prefer to pay for it up front a year ahead of time, and I'm not even thinking about it. That's different. That's a convenience. That's not saving money. So if you want to save money, don't buy the drink package, or if it's included, obviously you're going to get it, but then try to find interesting ways to get free drinks. If you go to the art auction, you can get a couple free drinks. If you do certain things, if you go to certain parties, you can get a free drink. So look for some interesting opportunities there, or just, go the bare minimum, have a few drinks a day and pay a la carte for them. So, number 5, right along with that, is bring some wine with you. Most cruise lines are going to let you bring 1 or 2 bottles of wine with you. You may get charged a corkage fee, but it's still way less than buying a bottle of wine. Also, bring a plastic corkscrew with you. Obviously, the corkscrew is metal, but a plastic container. Those are usually okay to bring. So that is a good tip for saving some money. Number 6, bring Ziploc bags for snacks. This is a good little tip if you have kids, or even if you're just a little snacky adult. So if you find that you get hungry before bed, or you wake up in the morning and you want to eat something quick, or maybe you just during the day, you get hungry a lot, when you go to the buffet or you go to the dining room or you go wherever you're going to go, bring some Ziploc bags, or just keep them in your room if you feel embarrassed to do that. I don't know why you would, but just in case. And then you can bring some cookies back to your room, or even if you bring some melon back and throw it in your fridge in the room in a Ziploc bag. Now you have a little snack built up for later. They'll stay fresh in the Ziploc bags, and you have some snacks where you don't have to bother anybody. I know that's usually not an issue on cruise ships because you can just run and get something, but if you have kids, you might not want to run out. And also, I found that on certain cruise ships like MSC, I couldn't find anything at night to eat. So having, the ability to grab a couple cookies or something and just have them, that'll save you some cash. Next up, don't splurge on a professional photo package. Most cruise lines, you're going to see photographers everywhere. They're going to take your picture 50 times. At this point, I don't even get my picture taken by the photographers. Now, I go on a lot of cruises. So it's not to say if you're celebrating your anniversary or your honeymoon or a birthday and you want to get a family picture or something, that's great. Do one. Don't buy the package. They generally are not worth it. It's also a lot of money. Remember, we're trying to save money here. Try to stretch your dollars so that you can get more bang for your buck out of these vacations. Tip number 8 is buy souvenirs at port or when they have a sale on the ship. So you will notice certain days they're going to have like a buy 3 t-shirts for $20 or something on your cruise ship. And also when you get off the ship, you can get t-shirts and things like that for much cheaper at some of the little artisan markets that are out there. So think about that before you splurge on a $50 t-shirt on your cruise ship. Number 9, this one hurts my soul. Don't do specialty dining. So I love specialty dining. I love splurging, even if it's a meal or two on a cruise. I really like doing that. I think it elevates your cruise vacation, but we're talking about saving money. The other way to save money is if you do want to splurge and you want to try those specialty dinings, try them for lunch. A lot of specialty dining restaurants are open for lunch and they are much, much cheaper, like almost half the price. So check that out on your ship. Next up is tip number 10. At this time, we'd like to ask everybody to please subscribe. We're trying to hit 4,000 subscribers this month. That would be amazing. So thank you so much if you do subscribe, and we hope you get some value out of all the content that we put out. So next up, look for park and cruise packages. We always recommend flying in the day before the cruise, or driving, even if it's driving the day before if you can afford it. Another way to save money is to go the day of, but that's very risky. So look for park and cruise. A lot of times if you stay at a hotel for the night, they will allow you to park there for the week, and it's going to be much cheaper than parking at the port. So look for those if you are driving to your port. Next up is number 11. If you can wait, I can't do this, but if you can wait for the internet, wait till you get to ports. A lot of time when you get off the ship at different ports, there's going to be free internet at different restaurants or cafes, or you'll find Starbucks everywhere. McDonald's has free Wi-Fi in the Bahamas. I know in Nassau, a lot of people go to McDonald's to get free Wi-Fi. You'll find it everywhere. So if you can afford to wait for your internet, and then you could jump on, check back in with people at home or whatever you need to do. Number 12, sorry. Same with the internet. If you can wait for drinks, or you don't want to spend a ton of money on drinks, buy some drinks at the ports that you go to. A lot of times you'll find a cheap excursion, maybe that's doing a rum tour or a beer brewery tour or something like that, where you can get a lot of drinks. I know we do the Gosling's rum tour in Bermuda all the time. You get a few drinks on that. So look for ways, or even just go to a bar and grab a cocktail when you get off the ship. That's a great way to save some money. Number 13, another way to save some money is to, when you get to your ports, eat breakfast or lunch or dinner on the ship. So you save some money. This way, when you get off in Nassau or Bermuda or whatever, you don't have to spend additional money eating off the ship. Now, again, you can love to do that, but we're talking about saving some money here. So if you're balling on a budget, eat on the ship. And remember, you could take food off the ship. You can't bring food on the ship. So be careful. You can't bring food from Bermuda or the Bahamas or anything back on your ship. Number 14, a great way to save money on your next cruise is to do a repositioning cruise. These are generally way cheaper than your other cruises. This is when a ship, for instance, is coming back from Europe and they're going to now port for the summer or the winter in Miami. So you could jump on that cruise and come over to here and it's going to be way cheaper. Also, if it's going from Miami to New York or Miami to Boston or Florida, any place in Florida from there, or the opposite, from New York back down, those are really great cruises to get a good deal on. And then the last tip for today is if you forget something, do not buy it on the ship. It's going to be so crazy expensive, like Advil, like Band-Aids, feminine hygiene products, unless you obviously, if you need something, you need something. But if you can wait till you get to port, most ports, I'm telling you, we get off at ports, and I got off at San Juan and we were walking down the street and there was a Target and a Walgreens. You'll find things like that in all the different ports. I've gotten razors in all over Antigua, all over the place. I forget things all the time. So think about those things next time you're in port. Think about all these tips before you book your next cruise. And remember, talk to a travel agent. It doesn't cost anything. Even if you don't book with them, which, I mean, obviously you should, but if you don't book with them, you're still going to get a wealth of information. They are very knowledgeable. Most travel agents that book cruises book a lot of cruises. So they're going to have a lot of detailed info. Check with them. They will also have some great tips for you for saving some money. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We hope you have a great day, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.